Alrighty, folks, how you doing today? This is Daryl Martin coming to you right here from TFNN.com, checking out where the markets are at today, seeing what all is going on. Looking at the market right now and looking at the indices, giving you your current lunchtime market wrap. We got the S&P moving on up 15 points today. We got the Russell's up 3.5, a little slow compared to everything else. We got the Nasdaq up 26. Dow is up 112 pips on the day. So some nice moves going on in there, right there with the indices this morning. Going ahead and looking over at our metals markets, we got copper right now. Copper's up 2.5%. We got gold is up $1.70. Silver is up 0.75%. Oil right now is currently flying on up. We'll be looking for a bounce. We'll do some analysis on oil here in a moment, but it's currently up at 364, so this sort of shot up right there here recently. Looking on at natural gas, it's currently up 1% on the day. Looking at our ag markets, we got both of them down, corn and soybeans. Corn down about 0.5%. We got soybeans is down nearly 1% on the day. Pound dollar currently up 35 pips. Euro dollar's up 19. Euro pound's currently down 2 pips. Dollar franc is down 27 pips on the day. Dollar yen currently pretty flat, down just a couple pips compared to settlement. Euro yen is up 25. Aussie yen is up 58. We got the dollar index is down 0.173, and the bonds, not moving too much at the moment on the 30 years there. All right, well, that gets us caught up on the day, and there's a couple different markets you can be looking at on oil. And I've had a lot of traders ask about that because it's, whenever you're trading derivatives versus trading the underlying market or whatever, things can get a little bit tricky. So what I wanted to show you was two things. One, I wanted to bring you over to roll dates here and, look at the volume on the market, okay? And we can see, the volume as of the market closing yesterday. There were 10,000 contracts on October, 6,000 on November. Things are picking up. They're moving over, but a little bit slower. Looking over at current day with a little delayed data, 10 minutes delayed on here. We got 195,000 contracts on October, 89,000 on November. So the market's starting to roll. And some of you trade on Nadex. I like to trade on Nadex a lot. If you haven't traded on Nadex, I'll show you how to find out how to do so. It's over on hopontfnn.com. Click on the Nadex banner on the right side of the page. Once you click on that, then go on in and go ahead and click on your trading demo trading account section and fill in your username, your first name, your last name, your phone number, your email address, and from there you can go ahead and click apply for demo. You'll then be able to log in and you will be able to participate along with a lot of the trades that I will sometimes call out on here, the different news trades I'll call out for you. We talk about spike strikers, we talk about MVP reversals, we talk about boomerangs, we talk about all sorts of different kinds of trading strategies. Iron condors on news, all different things like that. And I suggest you get that going right now. Hop on that website right now. Why? Why would you want to do that? Well, there's something coming out. There's something coming out. We got a trading competition, okay? We got a virtual trading competition coming on up, and you can check that out right over here on the TFNN website, and we'll be giving out a lot of prizes, and you definitely want to, master how to, do these trades and put the pieces together. We're going to be giving away books. We're going to be giving away cash, okay? And all this is about how to learn how to trade on the Nadex platform. When is it going to start? It's going to start Thursday, September 25th. So we got literally, about a week and a half for you to practice to get ready to go in on the trading competition. It's going to be demo money, okay? So you're going to be able to trade without any risk, but able to actually make some potential real cash if you're able to win on the trade. All the details can be found right here on the TFNN website. Again, just go to TFNN.com, okay? Fill in your information to submit that. And we are going to actually open this contest up to U.S. and Canadian, you heard right, Canadian residents. So again, I announced that last Thursday, Nadex had changed their rule book to allow for Canadian residents of Mexico and residents of the U.S. territories, and they would soon be working on updating their forms to get that going. It's not done yet, but it is in process, and they say to check back often while they're getting all the back-end stuff up now that they got the regulatory pieces all filed and in place. Okay, and it's a one-week contest. I'll just read through this with you. So it's a one-week contest, and let's just go through it. 10 overall winners, okay? Prizes up to $3,000 in cash. Tommy O'Brien's best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade. I love that book, okay? I literally read it several times. I have a couple copies, literally. I've got one signed by Tommy. It's where I learned some of the stuff like that. I talk about magnet pricing. Some of those concepts I learned in that book, okay? And it talks about a lot of different things, but it really, just it's another way to learn how to trade, and it's really about, the art of timing the trade, which is sometimes the most difficult part. And he really breaks it down step by step. So even if you don't win, you want to buy it, but hey, here's your chance to win the book, okay? So 25 daily winners will also be selected. So 25, that's right, you heard 25 daily winners will also be selected at random. So just being in the competition from the competitors who are actively placing at least one virtual or demo trade a day. Now, this isn't just demo trading in your own account. You have to be registered in the competition. You'll get a special demo account for the competition, okay, so that it can be monitored. But 25, if you trade if you place a trade a day, you're in that pool of 25 daily winners getting a $100 cash prize and a copy of Tommy's book. So not too shabby, not too hard to win that one. That's not even doing it well. That's not that you could lose on the trade and you could still end up profitable, okay? Because you could win. And the idea is just to get you in there and let's just see what it's about. Get you to start asking some questions, okay? So we can help you out. And, I mean, you can call in right here on my show. I'll be glad to help you walk through different kinds of trades and things that you can do. The competition is going to officially run starting September 28th, okay? And it's a Sunday because Nadex opens at 6 o'clock on the FX markets on Sunday. It opens everything else at 3 a.m. on Monday. It'll start up like commodities and indices and things like that. And but you have to sign up no later than September 25th at noon. There is no benefit to waiting, okay? Wipe it off tomorrow what you can do today. Register right now so that way you don't accidentally forget, because if you register on Friday, sorry, we didn't have time to set up your demo account. You're not going to be in this system, okay? So, again, who can register? U.S. and, for the first time, Canadian residents are going to be allowed to take part in the contest and be eligible for the prizes. So make sure to keep this in mind. Space is going to be limited on the trade, on the whole thing. So you get in there because once it's full, it's full. I don't know how many they're going to do, but I know we can't monitor 4,000 people, okay? So I don't even know what the limit is. I'm not even going to guess. I'm just going to tell you that's another bad thing about waiting because, if it gets full, it gets full. We have to pull down the registration link. So I do it right now. Even if you don't know what it is, just get in there, register, we'll get you going, okay? This one-week contest is going to take place, again, using a Nadex demo account. Nadex will send you your demo account login information. So make sure you put a valid email, phone number, stuff like that. You're going to need that to get your information, okay? And they'll send it to you the weekend prior to the start. So basically, by the 27th, before the market opens, you should be getting your login the weekend prior to the start of the competition. So we'll be using the Nadex platform to execute all the trades. And, you may want to learn a few things going into this. So one thing you may want to do is learn how to use my scanner because it ties directly into the platform and makes it a lot easier to find trades. And you just go over here to Nadex, go over here to TFNN.com, click on the box spread analyzer. It teaches you how to use the binaries and the spreads. When you log in, there's a whole getting started tutorials, first things first. What's on the site, how does it use, how can you use deviation levels in your training. There's a spread scanner, there's a binary scanner right there under the spread scanner. You just open it up, you'll see the binary scanner will open up for you as well. Let's see, you're going to have tutorials on what are binaries, what are spreads, different ways to trade them, all different things that are going to help you increase your chances of potentially placing a decent maybe in a decent ranking in the contest here. But again, even if you're just in it and you're just placing a live trade a day, you could actually still win. Okay? So don't let your fear of not knowing what it is or how it works keep you back from hopping in this thing, because you still have a possibility to win some cash. 25 people a day, in fact, will be doing so. So, we can trade on the platform. We can trade binary options. You can trade Nadex spreads. You can do it on equity index futures, commodity futures, and currencies. Those are the trades that will count. Okay? Which is basically three of the main markets. They do have event binaries. We're going to be focusing on the index futures, the commodity futures, and the currencies. None of the money in the trading account, the $25,000, will be real. So too bad, right? Not your money you're putting in. So the withdrawal button will not work, but on that demo there. But the prizes are real. So those actually will have nice little checks that go along with them. So some simple rules that are going to be very important. I'm going to go ahead and go over them with you now, because I know a couple of y'all have participated in our contest before. A couple of y'all have won our contest before. The maximum number of contracts placed on any one order ticket will be 10. Okay? So you can't go in and do 100 contracts at once. We don't want somebody going in and placing 500 orders at one time, taking out the book all the time on the contracts. Okay? That doesn't in any way simulate reality. Okay? Let's see here. And then, so again, 10 is going to be the maximum amount of orders you can place on a single trade. And then each demo account is going to start with $25,000, okay, in virtual money, and no one will be allowed to reload their account during the contest. So you can't call up and say, I lost 15 grand. Can you bump that buck up to 25 for me? Because they will bring your demo account back up to 25 if you call them and ask them. At least that's what I've heard. So haven't had to do that, but you may, you can't do that during the contest, obviously. If you lose it, you lose it. You got to make it back inside there to rank. Every participant is allowed one entry. You can't have like 25 entries. Doing so would disqualify all of them. Okay, so they look at IPs and things like that, and whatever else they monitor. Just, come on. Anyone found using more than one demo account or working together to try to manipulate the market or something weird like that, because, in demo you can do all sorts of weird things, will be disqualified. So you don't want to be trying that, okay? During the contest, there's going to be a daily leaderboard. We'll put it up there publicly. By registering, you agree that your first initial and last name will be displayed to the group if you're one of the top spots. No other personal information will be disclosed. We'll talk about the prizes when we get back after this break. Alrighty, folks, we'll come back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. Okay, so last piece I want to go over here with you was the prizes. Okay, there are going to be 70 prizes, not one, 70 prizes. So, a lot of times, second place is loser. This time, second place, third place, 20th place is a winner. Plus, we're going to give away the daily winners as well. So another 25 times 5, just a lot of prizes. Okay, it comes out to a lot. Anyway, there'll be a total of 70 prizes awarded to 45 winners, and that's because we're going to have 5 prizes a day, 5 people. That's 25, and then we're also going to have first to 20th place as well. Okay. And those prizes will be ranging from $100 to $3,000. Okay, $100 to $3,000, and 35 copies of Tommy O'Brien's best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, your ultimate trading mastery system, will be given out. So overall winners will be determined as those competitors that have the highest balance in their account at the end of the contest period. One thing to remember is, when those daily postings go out, people may have trades open, like a daily binary, for instance, weekly binary, and so that balance doesn't always reflect. It could be higher, or it could be lower what it is. You never know till everybody's flat on Friday. Okay, so never think you're way ahead and don't think you're as far behind. Somebody might have a big, there's just all sorts of things going on there. But I've seen some people sneak up right in the end. But overall, winners will be determined as the competitors have the highest balance in their account at the end of the contest period on Friday. Daily winners will also be chosen at random, like as long as they placed a active trade in the demo account from the list of competitors. And we've got a little FAQ here. The contest will run, again, from September 28th, 6 p.m. Eastern Time through market close on Friday. I want to say the last contract closes at 4:15, if I'm correct. I'm pretty sure that's right. When do you have to sign up by? You got to sign up no later than Thursday, September 25th, but space is limited, so once the contest is full, it's full, and no other registrants will be permitted to join. So if you're on this page, if you're on this radio show, you should be signing up now. It cost nothing, not a zilch to sign up. It is free. There's no money at risk at all for you in any way by doing this. What can I learn more about doing the platform? Hop on the Nadex Trading Academy trading videos. Also, they have a webinar section, okay, that you can hop on and check out. They got their YouTube channel. You know, obviously, you got right here on TFNN, you got the scanners, all sorts of stuff. What if you have questions about Nadex, your demo account, how to trade? If you get locked out of your account, whatever, you can call Nadex or you can email Nadex if you get locked out of your account. But if you're having technical difficulties, you probably need to contact, like I said, Nadex. But they also say you can send some other questions, like related to the contest, to contest@tfnn.com. So if you have questions about the contest, obviously there's disclaimers down here. You need to look at that. 18 years or older, U.S. legal resident, U.S. Canada, so et cetera, et cetera. But anyways, pretty excited. We've been looking forward to doing another contest. We've been talking about it. We got it going, and there you go. $10,000 in cash. All right, so that was just a side note there, but I definitely wanted to cover that one with you. And let's see, I think I have a caller in right now. Will, you still on the line there from Georgia?
Yeah, hey, thanks for taking my call.
Hey, you bet, man. Sorry about that. Just want to get through the contest. Pretty excited we're launching that up.
It's pretty exciting. Yeah, I just wanted, if you could help me take a look at Trovagene. It's Trov.
Okay, yeah, no problem. So you in what kind of position are you in right now?
Well, I had a small position that I took right as it was going above 6. When it pulled back a little bit, I thought it was going to start going up again, and I wasn't able to get my a stop in time. So now I'm looking at, I've seen there's been a couple of spikes to the downside, but it looks like it's found some support here on the 550 level. Is it looking like it may have a room to go back up here as it consolidates, or you think it's just probably going to be heading down from here now?
I don't think it's dead at the moment, but I do think it has some definitely room to go, but a little bit further at least. We have a pretty big magnet level happening. Had a little over 1 million shares trade there on August 18th. See that big spike in volume?
Yeah.
Right there on August 18th, and we had another big spike in volume that happened right there on August 29th. Okay? So usually what happens is the market is attracted to those levels. So it will most likely come back down and touch at least the high right here of this bar. So it's just looking at 478. So just make sure that's within your allowable risk parameters if you're going to hold on to that position or if you're going to hedge it with the put or whatever. But I wouldn't be surprised to see it come back down to that. Now it's going to have to actually have some oomph to get through it. And stay right there. I'll talk to you about how I saw that it broke up last time, so you can sort of have a little idea for next time. Okay? Stay right there.
Thanks so much.
All right, folks. So come on back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour, and I'm going over right now. Thing with Will here from Georgia. We're talking about Trovagene, and looking at sort of where it's standing at and what we might be able to do with it. And so what I was going over when we last took off there, well, I was talking about the volume and how we had a pretty big volume spike that it seems like it's retracing back from August. And so we probably see it going right there. And you notice how it tried to break out above that the following day? And see how it couldn't break it and it fell back down, did a little pullback? And then it finally came through. When it did a little bit of a breakthrough, but the next day it forced on up with a lot of volume. Okay, so you need that big volume to really break through those volume levels. And so you can see right here we have the big volume where it's starting to build up. It's ascending. Okay, we got an increasing volume, then a breakthrough. That's a real breakthrough. Breaks up, but then it creates another magnet price right there again, which looks like around, if you get around 1,100,000 orders right there, like 1.1 million, that seems to be a magnet pricing level, at least currently, on TROV. So you have this range right now that you could look at. A couple possibilities. Obviously, trade at your own risk, etc. Obviously, but if you want to go in, you could hedge off and buy maybe a little bit of an out-of-the-money put in case it does decide to fly down. Looking at either like an October or November put. Are there puts on TROV? I haven't not looked to see if it's an option tradable stock. Let's see here. Let me check on it. But thinking if you have, so you got options on it, so you can go in and look at October, maybe even January. It just depends upon what the cost is going to be, the difference in the cost of the binaries. But I mean, if we're looking at the chart and the price is right around 453, what are you going to be able to get on that? So you got a 5 and you got a 5. So you can pay $1, you can pay 75 cents. That's actually not that bad. You're just not going to get as much of what's called delta. I don't know how much you trade options, but you'll get a full delta, obviously, on current month, but that's useless because it's going to expire in 3 days. Okay, here we go. So we got $1, and we got the January. It's $1.65. Your deltas are pretty similar. Your gamma is quite a bit higher. See that right there where it says 21 on the gamma?
Yeah.
That means a $1 move in the stock would increase that delta by 21 cents. Now, we're looking at the call side, so we're going to flip over to the put side. But right now it's out of the money, so it's pretty cheap. 65, 85. But I just want to give you an idea of how the gamma can really massively impact that. Like, that'll take the delta, like, if you're buying a call, that'd take your delta up to, like, 68, or what would that be? 68, 60, 70, like 79. This will take you up to, 89. So a big difference there in how fast the option moves to, work for you. Let's see, what price are we at right now? We're at 550. We think the market can move down $1, right? How many shares? Are you in like 100, 1,000? I mean, how many shares are you in?
1,000.
1,000 shares? Well, if you were going to take a risk all the way down to 450 anyway, again, this is up to you, but
yeah,
like one of the things I would look at is I'd almost be, I would look at, okay, what kind of risk am I willing to take? And that might be, the call. You could put that on and not have that ongoing risk. I mean, that'd give you $1 risk times 10, so that'd be another $1,000. You could do 10 of those. That'd be equal to, basically buying 1,000 shares and at least cap your risk. You wouldn't have to worry about it and give you 31 days. So that, or, just, monitor it really close. You have this one area down here. The closest other stop I could give you would be there on September 2nd with a low of $5 even. So, yeah. That's about the only other low I get, but if it comes down here, it's a magnet. What's probably going to happen is if you put a stop there, you'd get stopped out, it'd go down, it'd hang out there, and then it'd probably oscillate back up and you'd beat yourself up. So yeah. I'm just, I see it coming down, touching this level, and then you can see how even like the weakness is coming down, so it's getting it ought to be getting ready for a buy. It just needs to hit a solid, support level. And that support level, unfortunately, is somewhere between like $4.80 and $5 right now. So I don't know how much that helps. It's not perfect, but I'm just trying to give you a few scenarios.
It was great. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I actually probably would have if I'd done it already. I probably would have. I could always go ahead and just get out now, if I didn't listen to the option, thing. But when I put the buy in, my intention was to have put a stop in at this 550 level, and here we are. I've been sitting here for the last a few days or whatever now, and so. Well,
and that's the other thing. Maybe you're right. Maybe it goes back up over the next, let's say, month. Because it could take that long. It took them that long to get this far down. Then you have cost of opportunity. So sometimes taking a hit is actually the most profitable thing to do. Not only does it cut your loss, it gets you psychologically clear in your head, and it allows you to put your capital to work somewhere else where you see a good setup. Whereas if you're tying that capital up, then and you may not be, you may have so much capital you're not tying it up. But if you are tying it up, or if it's just psychologically messing you up, sometimes it can blind you from other opportunities. And not only do you have a loss, but now you have all these profits that you're missing out on and potential other opportunities. So
sure. Hey, that's great. Thank you so much.
Hey, you bet, man. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Have a great one. All right.
You too. All right. So that was Will from Georgia. Thanks for calling in. And, love to hear from y'all. And I hope to hear from you a lot as this Nadex contest kicks off. So one of the things I wanted to go over with you was oil and just understanding the oil rollover. And if we go in and if we look at, let's see, what's a good way to do this? We'll just look at them side by side. Got these two charts up right now. And I can put in, /CL, X4, I believe is correct. And it's probably going to still put me on the October if I do the /CL. And, yep. So we got the October contract over here. We got the November contract over here. And just want you to see that they can be obviously dramatically different in how they move. So see some big differences there. And just to make sure that I have, one of the things I like to do in Thinkorswim is go in and, it'll automatically basically default to the right symbol code for you most of the time. But it's good to know what those symbol codes are so you can make sure that you know what you're looking at. So V4 is the one for October. And you can definitely tell there are some differences. Let's make sure we're looking at the same charts, okay? So otherwise it's be like, what's going on? But if we go in here, we look at the volume, and high of 105.55, high of 103.88. There could be little differences. Why am I bringing this up? One, the higher volume month right now, you can see we got 200,000 versus like around 100,000, a little past 100,000, or 100. But yeah, it is 100,000 contracts happening, about a week ago there. But today, like, volume's declining. Notice how volume's going down on oil in the October. It's starting to increase in the November. So the shift is starting to take place. And a future contract is an agreement between a buyer and a seller to make or take delivery of, in this instance on a commodity, by a specified date. So like, I'll take your 100 barrels of oil for, all my airplanes or this or that, or, maybe I want to make plastic or whatever, and, you sell it to me. And then, so you deliver it, and we meet up on a train, and there's specs on it, and there's all this fun little contract stuff. You can actually read about it on the CME site of what grade it has to be and what all the delivery rules are and everything else. But most people don't hold them to that long. That's really your commercial, your oil companies, your, large commercial companies buying oil in mass. Even if they're not buying it directly on the futures exchange, they'll use the futures exchange to hedge off the cost so they can go, yeah, I'll sell you 1,000 plastic widgets or 1,000,000 plastic widgets. Okay, well, I'm going to have this much oil to make all that plastic, so therefore I'll need to let me go ahead and buy that now so I can guarantee what the price will be for my cost, so I don't end up losing money when oil changes price and I have to go buy it by the time I get around to making the widgets for you. So that's sort of why the futures market exists, okay? But you're trading on futures, and you're like, okay, well, it's not time to roll over yet. But then you go over and you look at Nadex, okay? And on Nadex, they can't roll on the exact same date. They're just not allowed to. It'd be copying, okay? So they have to roll on a different date. Sometimes they roll like the day after. Sometimes they roll the day before. Sometimes they roll a week before or a week after, okay? Just whatever the rhyme or logic is, haven't quite figured that out. I just know what all the roll dates are. And so if you go to the scanner inside here, you're going to see what the roll dates are. And you'll see, crude oil on Saturday, last Saturday on the 13th there, they rolled on over to 11/14. But that wasn't really the official roll date. And so that can make things a little bit confusing. When that happens, what I like to do is you have to watch the contract the derivative is following. So if Nadex is following November, you have to watch November. As far as price action, because if you're determining strikes, entries and exits and binary strikes and all sorts of stuff like that, or even just the spreads, you need to be looking at the right contract. Otherwise, it's like looking at Apple to trade, Microsoft or whatever. May work a little bit, but there's definitely a difference in price there. So, at least for a little while, who knows if that'll keep up. But looking at these things right now, there's one other trick, and I'll use the liquid contract months volume, okay? Again, I'll use the liquid contract months volume, and I'll use the price action, okay, and the technical analysis of the actual underlying month that the derivative is following. So if I was doing any kind of volume-based strategy, I would have up my November volume while watching my October chart. It's a little bit confusing, but I want that liquid volume. It's the most telling sign for me. You can see they move pretty much in tandem. There can be some things called contango and other fun future terms, but you don't have to overly complicate it for yourself, especially if you're trading on a derivative. This only happens like a few times a year. Most of the time, they roll over like within like a day or so of each other, so it doesn't even matter. The volumes just flip. That's basically equal, okay? But like they rolled over, like indices rolled over Thursday. They rolled over technically Friday after close. There's plenty of volume on Friday. Everything was fine. The big thing is like whenever they started like a week earlier and it rolls a week later, that's when it gets tricky. That's why I like to use volume for the week. Now, as you see that volume start to come together, like, we see, 100,000, and we see, say, 200,000, and tomorrow maybe we'll see, like, 125, and then we'll see, say, 175, and then it'll sort of come together probably by Thursday, which is the rollover date, usually. And then we'll see, Friday, we'll see that October or November will overtake October. So by about Thursday, you can stop doing this. It's just like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday thing. And but to know when you can stop, it's basically when the volumes are basically equal for the day, okay, or when October exceeds. Or when November exceeds October. So when the volumes are equal or when November exceeds October, that's when you can roll over onto the next month. Let's see, what else do I got on my list for you to go through? And I got a little checklist I like to knock out every day, but obviously the announcement of the contest being the big one. And I hope to see a bunch of you out there, and I hope to. It's just going to be fun. I want to see a lot of your names up on there. I know a lot of you, and would love to see you on top of the rankings. Let's see. Just doing a little review of the markets from this morning. We had some awesome trades going on, trades that were sent over to me by a few different traders. We had a massive run right here that flew on up on the Apex market, just ran up, and I mean we're talking, entering here at 92. Flying up to like 93, still in the trade, almost at 94. So, looking at about a $3,000 profit trade, or $2,000 profit trade on that trade. So, let's see, what else do we got? Some other trades. We got some good momentum scalps going on gold. Didn't get a whole lot of movement, sort of a flat-out move there overall on the actual, just the Apex trade itself. But got some just great one. Look at this volume picking up, going in right into it. Checking out, Nasdaq, seeing some action on the Nasdaq markets, and putting these together. And lots of momentum scalps. It came on down right here. We're down at half a deviation, then starts bouncing right back up, and just takes off. Does a great job. Volume sort of flattens out, gets a little choppy, picks right back up, starts running back up. So some good momentum scalps there. And then we had momentum scalps and some elite setups, but you want to be aware of the deviation levels. I'm always talking about those. We post those. You're going to want those for the contest, okay? We post those every day right there inside the scanner. But a nice, setup right there at Apex breakout trade. Tons of momentum, but we are getting up right on a one deviation high to low move right here. Okay? So we've now surpassed that one deviation high to low move, so use some caution there in the Dow on that big run. Let's see. Let's do a little news wrap, and I think that'll wrap things up for us. Let's do a news wrap on a couple of the trades that we're looking at from yesterday and the announcement we have, and we'll go in and we'll look at the upcoming trades so you're ready to check it out. Okay, well, yesterday we had the dollar CAD manufacturing, and so let me pull up the news trade I gave you yesterday to go over with that, and look at that. That's just a pretty little chart. Moving right on down there, and let's see, right down here, going in. And looking at, let's see, the 16th. And then just trying to see CAD manufacturing sales. That was more of a be aware event anyway, but you can see it did have a bit of an impact. We pulled up on Forex Factory, or there's 1,000 other sites you can use that list out, news reports. But we got a manufacturing sales right there. And basically it was way better than expected. Gave the CAD strength. So the dollar CAD goes down. That means dollar's getting weaker, CAD's getting stronger. So if you woke up and you saw that report and it came out right there at 8:30, so right about here is when it picked up. You can see market was, sort of a little CAD strength, but not a whole lot. But then that report came out, and boom, it was all about the CAD after that point. So when I be aware, maybe, hey, watch this thing because it made us take off, and it did. It did a great job. We can go on. We look at some deviations right here. See, let's throw the deviation levels on there and see where it's at. All right, we'll cover a couple more things when we get back, but it looks like it's down one deviation on the day right now on the dollar CAD, so it's probably done with that move from the news. We'll be right back after this break. All right, folks, we'll come back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour, and looking on over here, going through the news that you can use. We got we also had a couple trades last night. One of them was on the pound dollar. Let me go ahead and bring that up, and let's see what we got over here. So on the pound dollar, we had a potential straddle trade. Looking for a decent size overnight move. And did we get it? Looks like we got a pretty good move there. Let's see if it was big enough, though. Let's see. I don't know if it was going to be enough to be what we were looking for. We were looking for an entry as early as 11, as late as 7. And if you went in here at 11 o'clock, yeah, wasn't really that big of a move. We got 27 pips. We're going for 35. And expired out pretty flat. So that one was just not one of our better trades. Straddles are harder. They're a lot harder. That's why you see me always embracing iron condors every chance I get. But there's just some big moves on all that pound release information. And let me just double check. You know what? Hold on. Let me double check something. Let me go back over here because I think there was a little data connection. I don't think that was last night. That was the night before on that one. Let me switch that back over. And we're going to pull it up. We're going to check it out. To go ahead and go over with you while I'm waiting on everything to get updated and live for you. Then I'll go ahead and make sure you have tomorrow's news trades as well. And let's see here. Let's see, for tonight, we got the pound dollar straddle report as well coming out. Various reports will be released: MPC, bank rate, asset purchase facility, average economic earnings, climate count change, unemployment rate. So we're looking for a maximum risk of $40 on that straddle for tonight. Usually a pretty good report, so we'll see how that one runs. We're also going to have a Euro final CPI and core CPI at 5 a.m. Coming out, so we'll do an 11 to 7 iron condor for a $35 minimum profit. So we're doing a straddle on the pound, we're doing an iron condor on the euro, and let's see, just trying to, like I said, get that thing to update. And then going on over here, we'll look at in the morning. And we got in the morning at 8:30, we have an 8 to 10 a.m. iron condor for a $30 minimum take profit. That's going to be on various releases that are coming out, just various U.S. release reports. Okay, let's take one more little look, if I can, if it'll let me. It's still loading up. Might just back up a little bit. And what else do we have? FOC funds rate is going to be coming out at 2 o'clock. We're going to talk about that live on our show tomorrow. So there's a lot of ways we could trade that. The main thing I do is I usually go in and I'm looking at two things. One, I'm looking at butterflies going into the news. I have a 90-minute, a 60-minute, and a 30-minute trade that I do. I have that listed in past trades. So go ahead and we'll pull those up. But, you know, if you have those from past FOMC announcements, you can put those on there. Also, I look at a potential straddle or iron condor on the FOMC funds rate. And let me see here. Let me pull this up. Look at it, make sure we got the right report. So yeah, we're gonna have, this is a statement, a rate, a press conference, and projections. This is the big mover, usually out of the FOMC reports. Okay, so right now I got Be Aware on my list, but I'll be updating that to all the iron condors that I do, the potential straddles if they're cheap enough. I'll also be looking at doing binary butterflies, usually going right into the report if there's enough premium to do it. Okay, it's not the easiest thing to do. A lot of times they suck that premium out right up till 2 o'clock, and then they put it all back in there for the 3 o'clock expirations. Okay, let's see. The New Zealand GP is going to come out. Be aware of that. That'll affect the Aussie tomorrow. We got the yen trade balance report. Not usually a big trade that we do. We'll take a look at it tomorrow, but it will affect the yen. Those are our main trades that you want to be aware of. And we'll do some news trade reviews for you tomorrow on the show. We're doing so much catch up on putting everything else up here right now. But got you caught up. Only a couple trades, for tonight. And, we got that one in the morning with the oil inventory. So pound tonight, euro tonight, euro in the morning, and oil inventory in the morning. That ought to get you caught up. All right. Y'all have a great day. I will see you tomorrow right here on the Diagnostic Trading Hour. Thank you.